Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimiraandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Last week we discussed several qualities of Krishna which we can also imbibe. Krishna's qualities like affection, benevolence, compassion, courage, determination, detachment, empathy, empowerment, forgiveness, gratitude, humility. All these qualities are not only meant for Krishna to exhibit, but the jivas also can imbibe those qualities to some degree. May not be as much as Krishna can demonstrate, but to some degree all of us can and have to imbibe. Coming to the questions asked by some devotees, Prabhu is asking, how do we accommodate karma and forgiveness together? So what does it exactly mean, Prabhu? We can give him mic. If you can elaborate the question little bit, we can discuss.
As a human being, when we born, we carry some karma.
Correct.
And the previous karma and all. So now we enter into Krishna consciousness because of that we are carrying some prarabdha karma. How this prarabdha karma will be nullified, that's a concern.
Okay. Is it like this? Say I have done a mistake and I need to experience some karma, some reaction to that mistake. And if somebody comes and forgives me for that mistake, so I will not be experiencing that karma. So what's the logic behind forgiveness? Is that the question? Yeah. Or when somebody does a mistake, somebody commits a sin or troubles us, if I forgive and leave him, how will he experience the result of his karma?
Krishna is giving forgiveness, no? If the person is doing sins or mistakes or something, he is forgiving. But we carrying the prarabdha karma. How the Krishna will consider that prarabdha karma?
Okay, fine. In the Brahma Samhita, it's mentioned, Karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. So Krishna is willing to destroy all our karma when we take to the path of bhakti. Not only in the perfect stage, even in the practice stage also, Krishna likes to remove all our karma. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu describes several characteristics of pure devotional service. Kleshagni and Shubhada. Kleshagni means destroying all the difficulties, miseries. Klesha means misery. Kleshagni means bhakti destroys all the miseries even in the practice stage, what to speak of perfection stage. Right? So, and karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. And if you read the purport of Tatenu Kampam Swasamikshmano Shloka, that popular prayer of Brahma, 10th canto, 14th chapter, 8th shloka. Tatenu kampam susamikshmano bhunjana evatmakritam vipakam. Hridvagva purbhir vidadan namaste jivetayo muktipade sadaya bhak. You can read this purport. 10.14.8 purport. So a devotee also may experience some difficulties, calamities, which may apparently seem like results of one's past karma. But according to the philosophy of Bhakti, when a devotee who is practicing pure devotional service is experiencing some difficulties, it's not a result of karma. It is arranged by Krishna. Who will experience karma? Karmis will experience karma. But bhaktas will not experience karma. Devotees don't experience karma. Because they are doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam. They are not perfect yet. They are not pure devotees. Even practicing sadhaka bhaktas also, they don't suffer because of some karmic baggage. They suffer because of anarthas, the traces of anarthas that are still remaining even after starting bhakti. Because as soon as you start bhakti, lust and envy will not go away. Pride and greed will not go away. Depending on the intensity of our practice, they will gradually go away. As long as the traces are still there, we may have to experience some difficulty. That is one source of difficulty for a sadhaka, anarthas. Then second source of difficulty for a sadhaka is aparadh, committing offenses to the holy name, to the holy dham, to the Vaishnavas, to the deities. Seva aparadh, nama aparadh, Vaishnava aparadh, so many aparadhs. So as a result also one may have to experience some kind of difficulty. But all these are ordained by Krishna. Krishna personally allows the sadhaka bhaktas to undergo some misery for their own purification. Right? However, if a devotee is not practicing pure devotional service, there is a difference. Pure devotional service and some mixed devotional service are. What is pure devotional service? Anya bhilashita sunyam gnana karma dhyanavritam. Anya abhilashita sunyam. We should not have any material desires. Jnana karma dhyanavritam. Okay, let's not go so deep into it. But basically when you are practicing uttama bhakti, then the suffering while practicing bhakti is not exactly a result of karma. It is ordained by Krishna. Krishna takes charge of a devotee even in the practice stage. But when one is not practicing pure bhakti, they are doing some karma kanda, gnana kanda in the name of bhakti, or they are pakka atheists or materialists, they are karmis or vikarmis, karma will affect them. Karma will affect karmis, karma will affect vikarmis also. But karma will not affect bhaktas, even in the sadhaka stage, if they are practicing pure bhakti. So, now as far as forgiving is concerned, Krishna is always willing to forget and forgive all the sinful activities committed by a conditioned soul, as long as the soul surrenders to Krishna. As soon as the soul surrenders to Krishna, sincerely, and doesn't want to repeat all the previous sinful activities he has done, right? So as long as that intention is there, Krishna forgives the devotee, right? But if that intention is not there, Krishna will allow the devotee to undergo some suffering for that person's purification only. Apiche suduracharo bhajate ma mananya bhak sadhureva samantavyaha. Krishna will consider such a devotee as sadhu, even if he has done some sudurachara in the past. But if we take it as a license to do sudurachara, anyways Krishna will forgive. Then Krishna will give some suffering, right? He will allow us to undergo some difficulty. But as long as there is some sincerity, there is some purity of thought. One may not be completely pure, but there is a purity in intention. Then Krishna is there to help us. So, when Krishna forgives a wrongdoer or someone who has a great baggage of karma, that is his magnanimity. Because that forgiveness also includes Krishna's mercy and his affection for that soul, acknowledging the intention of that soul to not go back to sinful life anymore. One may have a haunting past, but one will have a promising future, provided one exposes oneself to Krishna's mercy, Krishna's forgiveness. But if that quote-unquote sinful soul wants to take undue advantage of Krishna's forgiveness and deliberately commit sinful activities knowing that Hare Krishna will anyways forgive me, then Krishna will do the needful in purifying that person in a different way, in a more intense way, in a more stricter way. But as long as sincerity is there, okay, fine. Say somebody is... Anyways, let me not give so many examples, but does it answer your question? So Krishna is the one who arranged this whole system of karma. Karma is action, karma is reaction to an action, karma is fruitive action, karma is prescribed action, karma is the whole chain of actions and reactions which is basically orchestrated by Krishna himself. So one who has bound the conditioned souls in this cycle of karma can easily relieve that soul from karma. Very easily, very effortlessly he can do it. Right? Natasmate natha sadanghri pankajam virincha vairincha surendra vanditam parayanam kshema vihecchatam param nayatra kalaha prabhavet parah prabho. Nayatra kalaha prabhavet parah prabho. Kala means time factor does not influence the Lord. And one who is influenced by the time factor, one who is influenced by Kala, if he takes shelter of Krishna, then Lord will relieve that soul from the influence of Kala. Kala, karma, gunadhino, dehoyam pancha bhautikaha. So, the conditioned soul is constantly under the subjugation of Kala, karma, guna. And who is beyond the influence of Kala, karma, guna? Krishna. If we take shelter of Krishna, Kala is gone, karma is gone, guna is gone. Means they cannot affect us anymore. So Krishna's forgiveness is justified. If Krishna forgives this person, how can he learn a lesson? That's Krishna's responsibility. That forgiveness of Krishna includes an empowerment towards that soul to not commit sinful activities anymore in reciprocation with the sincerity of the soul. If there is no sincerity, then Krishna will not give such kind of forgiveness. Right? Whether Krishna punishes someone or forgives someone, the ultimate intention of Krishna is to bring the soul back to proper consciousness only. Right? So Krishna's punishment, oh, Krishna did not forgive this person, he punished him. Is Krishna not merciful? Actually, that punishment is also mercy. This forgiveness is mercy, that punishment is also mercy. By forgiving, Krishna brought him to right consciousness. By punishing this soul, Krishna brought him to right consciousness. So, the purpose of Krishna's punishment is not rejection, but rectification. He wants to rectify the rebellious attitude of the conditioned soul. But if the conditioned soul himself realizes that, oh, I have been rebellious, let me just improve from wherever I am. So Krishna, please help me. Then Krishna will forgive. You voluntarily want to give up your sinful life and take my shelter? Yes, I forgive you all offenses. Come. Lord Ramachandra said that Sakrideva prapannoyam tavasmiti chayatati abhayam sarvada tasmai dadamyetadvratam mama. Even if Ravana comes and surrenders unto me, even if Ravana comes and begs forgiveness, I will forgive him. I will forgive all his mistakes. He has kidnapped Sita Devi. That's okay. He is begging forgiveness, right? I will relieve him from all reactions. So that is Krishna's grace. Okay. Yes, Rasika Raj, Gopinath Prabhu, what was your question? Keep it very concise.
Like when we say that Krishna is like affectionate and forgiving, so detached, and other qualities like humble, then we are glorifying only Krishna. But like I was just thinking that when we in regarding or in relation to us, when we say that Krishna is so grateful, then we are also glorified with Krishna sometime, isn't it? How to say that Krishna is so grateful? Like sometimes we relate, oh, we did this, and Krishna now reciprocating so affectionately. He is so forgiving. I did this, but he mercifully forgave me. So only Krishna is glorified. But when we tell that, oh, now Krishna is so gratefully he is reciprocating.
Okay, when we are glorifying many other qualities of Krishna, we are glorifying only Krishna. But when we are glorifying Krishna's gratitude, there is some element of self-glorification involved there. Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay, now I understood. Okay, good. We are not being self-absorbed when you are glorifying Krishna's gratitude. We are still glorifying Krishna only. You are so conscious of not doing any self-glorification. He wants to purely glorify only Krishna. When we are, you got his question? Now I got after a lot of explanation. So when you are glorifying that Krishna is very grateful, that means we are glorifying ourselves that I have done something to Krishna, therefore he is grateful. No, although what I have done is so insignificant, still Krishna is grateful. We are glorifying Krishna in this way. Getting right? Let me give an example. That makes it very easy. Bali Maharaj, by the blessings of Prahlad Maharaj and the Brahmanas in the Bhrigu dynasty, and by Sukracharya's grace, Bali Maharaj became so powerful, he went and conquered the heavenly planets. You know the story from the 8th canto of Bhagavatam. Then the Devatas came on roads. And the mother of Devatas, Aditi, became so sad, so concerned about her children. And with the guidance of her husband, Kashyapa Muni, Aditi Mata performed some sacrifice called Payovrata. And Lord Vishnu appeared in front of her and said, "My dear mother, I'll become your son. I'll become Upendra. Indra is your son. I'll become the younger brother of Indra, Upendra, as Vamanadev. Then I will take away all the kingdom from Bali Maharaj and give that kingdom back to your sons. Don't worry." Then the Lord appeared as Vamanadev. So Vamanadev entered this Bhrigu, this area where the sacrificial arena of Bali Maharaj was there. As soon as Vamanadev entered that sacrificial arena, Bali Maharaj saw him and said, he could not do anything. He could not offer obeisances. He could not openly express his devotion. He mentally offered obeisances to the Lord because he was surrounded by so many demons. And the Guru of demons, Sukracharya, was there. In their presence, in the presence of all these demons and demon Guru, if the king of demons, Bali Maharaj, offers dandavats to the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, who appeared as a Brahmana boy, people may think, "Hey, what happened to our king?" Just to maintain his social, just not to embarrass himself in his social circles or not to surprise them. He kind of restrained his feelings. He controlled his emotions. He offered obeisances to Vamanadev in his heart only. So far, Bali Maharaj's devotional side is not highlighted so much. But as soon as he saw Vamanadev, he thought, "He is my worshipful Lord. Let me surrender unto him. I want to offer obeisances to him. I want to surrender myself to him." How did he get the feelings? Because of the blessings of Prahlad Maharaj. Because of the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was offering prayers to the Lord. "Oh Lord, you appeared as Narasimhadev and you protected me, you blessed me. Similarly, you also blessed my grandson, Bali Maharaj." In response to the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, the Lord bestowed some bhakti upon Bali Maharaj. Now, Bali Maharaj, as soon as he saw Vamanadev, he wanted to surrender himself to Vamanadev. Atmanivedanam, he wanted to do. But he controlled himself. Arey, these people cannot understand my feelings. Let me control. Let me control my emotions. Right? So, to cut the long story short, Vamanadev asked for 3 steps of land. And Vamanadev occupied the entire universe with 2 steps and asked Bali Maharaj, where is my 3rd step? And Bali Maharaj was a little blank for a moment. Then the Lord invoked Varuna Pasha and arrested Bali Maharaj, and then he humiliated him. So many people came to criticize Bali Maharaj. Vindhyavali, his wife, criticized. Sukracharya, earlier he cursed. And finally Brahma took the side of Bali Maharaj and said, "Oh Lord, don't criticize, don't humiliate him further." Then after everybody gave their speech, gave their comments, expressed their feelings and opinions, etc., etc., finally Bali Maharaj spoke. You know what he spoke? "Oh Lord, when you came to my sacrificial arena, I merely offered you obeisances within my mind. And you are so grateful for these obeisances that I offered you in mind. You have given me so much." Because the Lord is glorifying Bali Maharaj, and he was about to send him to Sutala. He has accepted the charity of Bali Maharaj. He accepted the surrender of Bali Maharaj. Then Bali Maharaj felt so overwhelmed. Instead of feeling humiliated and embarrassed in front of everyone, Bali Maharaj is feeling grateful to Vamanadev and said that, "Oh Vamanadev, what I did, what have I done to you? I merely offered obeisances to you in my mind, not even physically. I didn't even offer dandavats properly. Prostrated obeisance or even half dandavats I didn't offer. Within my mind, I offered namaskar, offered obeisances. But you have given me such a great mercy. What you would have given me if I have offered actual obeisances or done elaborate worship, etc., etc." So here, Bali Maharaj was not thinking that because I offered obeisances to Vamanadev within my mind, he reciprocated. Yes, I deserve this reciprocation. He was not thinking like that. The Lord is so merciful to bestow so many blessings upon me, so much affection upon me, for a meager amount of offering that I have done. What is that? Offering dandavats within my mind. So, a devotee never considers one's own offering to the Lord significant or great. But devotee, when he is glorifying the gratitude of the Lord, he only says that, "Oh Lord, you are grateful even for such a meager amount of offerings, such insignificant offerings. That's your greatness that you are reciprocating with this insignificant offering, not my greatness that I have offered you something and you have come. You don't need these offerings only." Similarly, in the 5th canto of Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, when Nabhi Maharaj and all the priests were conducting a sacrifice to please Lord Vishnu descended there and said, "I am pleased with Nabhi, whatever he wants I will fulfill." Then all the priests said, "Oh Lord, it's not that you have descended here because we have conducted a sacrifice. You are coming here like as if you are very curious to see what's happening here. Although our offering is insignificant, still you have come here to bless us. That's your magnanimity, your greatness, not our greatness. In fact, when we offer something to you, you are not getting benefited in any way. But we are getting benefited." Prahlad Maharaj also says the same thing. When I offer prayers to you, or when I offer anything, when any worshipper offers anything to you, that doesn't cause you any benefit, but it causes benefit to them only because you reciprocate with that. You are so grateful even for a tulsi offering or a offering of some Ganga water, and you come and reciprocate with us. That's your greatness, not our greatness. It's not the greatness of our offering, it's the greatness of your gratitude. Right? So a devotee feels, I have committed, I have done such insignificant service. I have offered such small gift to the Lord. Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. So many patrams around us. So many leaves around us. You see from this glass doors, glass windows. So many leaves. You just pluck one leaf and offer to Krishna. He becomes so grateful. Pushpam, phalam, toyam. So much water is falling from the sky every day. Heavy rains now in GUV. So many floods around. Have you seen the videos? Small videos were there. How much that pond is overflowing. So just take a cup of water and offer to Krishna. All water is coming from him only. But Krishna feels so grateful for it. That is his greatness, not our greatness. I have gone to the pond and picked up a cup of water and I have offered it to Krishna. You understand how great I am? How great my offering is? Devotee never feels like that. Not supposed to feel like that. Sometimes people feel that I have contributed to this temple. On every blade of the fan, my name should be written. Or on every brick of this temple, my name should be written. On every stone slab, on the steps, staircase, my name should be written. Right? Of course, some have some good sentiment also. Let the Vaishnavas dust be there on my name, fall on my head, something like that. There are some people who donate for the cause of Krishna's worship, and even if they want their name to be announced, it is only to seek blessings. There is no pride there. But there is one category of people who may offer something to the Lord, and they become proud of it. They become puffed up, as if they are doing something great. It's offering Ganga water back to Ganga only. Whatever they have, whatever they are, is by Krishna's grace, and whatever they have, they are offering something to the Lord, and it is their fortune that the Lord has accepted it. That's what they should feel. But if they feel that I am maintaining the Lord, then there is something wrong in that understanding. But anyways, does it answer your question? Yes, ma'am.
That would make the devotee go to hell, because the general statement is that devotees don't go to. Doesn't make the devotee, while doing services, aparadha is also going on, some devotional services going on. Does that devotee go to hell?
No.
Or does he suffer here as
First thing is, we cannot exactly say who will go to hell, who will go to heaven, who will go to Sutala Loka, who will go to Vaikuntha, who will go to Goloka. That Krishna has his own calculations, and those divine calculations are beyond human calculations. But to get a general sense of it, even if they are mixed, still, as long as they are chanting the holy names of the Lord, worshipping the Lord, or following bhakti even faintly, even with poor intentions also, still the practice of bhakti will purify them eventually. At this moment, at this stage of their spiritual life, they may be mixed devotees, they may be sakama bhaktas, they may be mishra bhaktas. But if they stick to the path of bhakti, then eventually the sakama tendencies will go away, mishra tendencies will go away, and bhakti remains. Dhruva Maharaj began the practice of bhakti with a desire to attain a position superior to Brahma, with a desire to take revenge on his stepmother, with so much envy towards his stepbrother. But he performed bhakti sincerely, but within 6 months all the tendencies are gone. Initially he was a Mishra Bhakta, or maybe little tamasic tendencies and rajasic tendencies he has. He was not like a Nirguna Bhakta or Uttama Bhakta. That was his initial connection. But the sincere practice of bhakti purified him. All the bad tendencies, whatever is unfavorable for one's bhakti, is completely cleared off, and he became a pure devotee. So bhakti will purify, even if it is in a mixed flavor initially. But when will such a mixed devotee come to the stage of pure bhakti? It depends on their sincerity, the intensity of practice, the kind of association they get. But not necessary that they will go to hell. They may also, we don't know exactly. It all depends on Krishna's decision, but generally not. Do you have anything?
Episode, you mentioned Sakridmana Krishna Kadara.
6.1.19, beautiful shloka. Sakridmana Krishna Padaravindayor Niveshitam Yad Gunaragiyairiha Nate Yamam Pasha Bhritascha Tadbhatan Swapnepi Pashyanti hi Chirna Nishkritaha. Swapnepi Pashyanti hi Chirna Nishkritaha. They need not see Yamadutas even in their minds also, even in their dreams also. If they chant the holy name of the Lord even once. Ajamil was saved from entering hell. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. Any more question, Mataji? Okay. Yes, Prabhu. You had a question, Mataji? One more question? Oh, this Prabhu wanted to ask. Give him first.
Harekrishna. So I asked that like Bhagavatam, what we study, each and every sloka is just enough. Even one sloka is enough to bring a renunciation and pure love to God. But still, after even computation, and still it seems to be just theory for me. Means why it only theoretical, still not coming to practical. Even one sloka, when while studying, feel that it is sufficient enough, but it's not making that push.
Yes. So how to convert all our knowledge into practice, or theory into practical. By the way, everything that you study in Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita may not be immediately applicable in your life at this moment. Keep collecting files and store them in your heart. And when life throws at us certain situation, then learn the art of removing the right file, opening the right file. Okay, what is this shloka teaching me? What is this pastime teaching me? What is this canto of Bhagavatam teaching me? I think I need to apply this here. While sitting in a mathematics classroom, you may learn so many formulas. Every time we may not be able to apply everything. And even in the final exam also, you may not be able to, or you may not need to apply every formula that you have learned. But some formulas are required to clear that final exam. Right? But for that you need to go through all. You have to study one full year, academic year, or 10 months or whatever. And final exam is only for 2-3 hours. But this 10 months of study is important, and only some things are tested there at that time. Most important things. So everybody may not have the same tests. Although everybody tries to receive the same, receive knowledge from the same source, but everybody understands it, internalizes it in a different way, and everybody experiences different kinds of tests. And when such a test comes, which formula should I apply? You should be able to recognize it. That is maturity. And one more thing, when you are studying Bhagavatam, it's not that every time you have to think in a practical way only. A pastime mein kaun sa practical point hai? Always practical. Relish it. Relish the pastime. Experience the bliss of hearing Hari Katha, Vaishnava Katha, Vishnu Katha. You don't have to always squeeze out lessons and then practical takeaways. How do I practice today? I didn't get any opportunity to practice this point. What's the point of hearing? Not like that. Keep hearing. Keep hearing. So, in short, answer to your question is, let's learn to relish Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's not always try to squeeze out practical lessons and try to see how much I can apply it practically. Yes, there are some practical points, but let's not fail to relish. Second point, you may learn more lessons than you can apply. Right? And everybody has their own journey. If you're a manager, you have certain challenges. If you're like a normal sadhaka, you have certain challenges. If you are living in India, you have certain challenges. If you are living in a different country, they have different challenges. So everybody undergoes a unique journey in the spiritual life. So that uniqueness, and you also need to customize and personalize the lessons that you have learned and apply them according to time, place, circumstances. That requires some maturity. So we may not be able to apply everything at this moment. Even kids also are learning Bhagavatam. So many lessons, so much siksha is given to them. But how much are they able to apply? We tell them, wait, Krishna will give you opportunity to apply. You don't have to apply everything. Just learn at this moment. Relish. Learn and relish. Application may be limited. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, regarding Dhruva Maharaj, you were explaining that he was having some envy towards
Uttama
and his mother also, stepmother. And at the same time, he was sincere also in his bhakti. So how these both go together? Sincere also and envy.
Sincerely envious. Okay. Why can't they go together? See, determination to practice a path is one quality. Having a negative intention is another quality. Right? Somehow in his personality both came together. Right? So because they both came together, this overpowered this kind of eliminated this eventually. Hiranyakashipu, he was very sincere in meditating on Brahma, doing some austerities to please Brahma. The kind of determination that Hiranyakashipu exhibited, I think none of us can exhibit in our sadhana. Can you? Huh? Standing on your toes for 100 years, raising your hands, looking up at the sky. You may do it for 2-3 minutes in your yoga practice. Maybe 2-3 is also a very big number, right? Maybe 2-3 seconds or 10 seconds. But 100 years, 100 celestial years, not human years also. I don't know. Is that correct? 100 celestial years, right? So many people showed so much of determination to perform some austerities, but with a negative purpose. Whether it is Hiranyakashipu or Ravana or any other demon, they performed severe austerities. So many yogis and tapasvis performed severe austerities, like Vishwamitra performed severe austerity, severe tapasya, sincere tapasya. For what? Just to have Vasishtha Muni accept him as a Brahmarshi. That's all. But the fortune of Dhruva Maharaj is his determination is dovetailed in devotional service by a pure devotee Guru Narada Muni. And he was profusely blessed by a pure Vaishnavi Suniti Mata. And because of that, he became a pure devotee. His intentions were purified. The intensity of his bhakti purified his negative intentions. So the lesson here is, even if your bhakti is not ahaituki, if your bhakti is apratihata, then it will become ahaituki soon. Getting right? Ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Ahaituki means unmotivated bhakti, selfless bhakti. No selfish intentions, no material motives in bhakti. That is ahaituki bhakti. But we may have material motives, we may have material ambitions, we may have material desires or feelings or thoughts, envy, grudge, pride or whatever. All this material stuff is there in the heart. It's not ahaituki bhakti. But if it is apratihata, if it is consistent practice of bhakti, sincere practice of bhakti, and regular practice of bhakti, that regularity, that consistency, that sincerity, that determination in bhakti, apratihata bhakti, will eventually bring us to ahaituki platform.
only for devotee intervention is there.
Ultimately, bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya. Without devotee's intervention, how can you practice bhakti on your own? Devotee has to teach. And in the purport of 1.2.6, Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 2nd chapter, 6th shloka, in the Sarartha Darshanic commentary, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, the cause of bhakti in the heart of a sadhaka is bhakti in the heart of a madhyamadhikari. Uttamadhikari sees everybody on a very high plane. Everybody is exalted for Uttamadhikari. We cannot artificially come to that platform. But we have our own perspectives. We may not be able to accept everyone as pure. Uttamadhikari does it. Kanishta, for him probably nobody is pure except the Lord and the Guru. But Madhyam, they have to discriminate. Prema, Maitri, Kripa, Upeksha. Fine. So Prema, Madhyamadhikari loves the Lord. Maitri, befriends devotees. Kripa, compassionate and kind upon conditioned souls, ignorant people. Upeksha, he stays away from envious people to protect his own bhakti lata. So when a Madhyamadhikari does some kripa, shows some kripa, compassion upon a conditioned soul, then that is the cause of the bhakti in the heart of the conditioned soul. So devotee's intervention has to be there too. That's one of the stages of bhakti. Ado Shraddha Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya. And Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes in the 1st canto, 2nd chapter only, that series of shlokas from 8 to 16, there, well, not even 8, I think 11 or 12. 8 is Atahum Pumbis Reshta, and later the real technical stuff comes. There, even before coming to the level of Shraddha or faith in Bhakti, one has to have two things. What are they? Satam Kripa and Mahat Seva. Satam Kripa, some mercy of devotees. Mahat Seva means some little seva rendered to a devotee. Okay. Thank you. Actually, Gauranga Prabhu gave me a topic just before the class. I'll address that topic if you don't have any other questions. What's the time now? 4. Okay. So last few minutes we will try to discuss a prelude to the topic given by Gauranga Prabhu. And next week we'll discuss more elaborately. You can ask. We cannot complete the topic now anyways.
Yes, in answer to the Prabhuji's question, you mentioned that a soul, when he starts bhakti, being a sadhaka, his reaction he gets, that is not because of his previous karma. So what if that same...
If he is practicing Uttama Bhakti, Avyabhicharani Bhakti, Akinchana Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti.
Yes, so he is not... he has not become pure devotee. So what if suddenly he leaves bhakti and again indulges in material activities? Then will that same principle will be applied?
If he leaves bhakti, then Krishna will give him an opportunity to come back to bhakti whenever he is ready. But he has to experience the results of his past misdeeds. If he is not practicing bhakti, he came to the shelter of Krishna, Krishna wants to take charge of him, but he rejected Krishna, he went away, then karma will take over. One of them have to affect us, right? Karma or Krishna. One of them we have to be under the control of somebody, karma or Krishna. Does it make sense? I don't know, that's what.
The more people surrender to that degree.
Yethamam prapadyante principle applies to everybody. Why only mixed devotees? Everybody.
Mention, so for mixed devotees, so whatever extent they surrender, to that extent the karma will not affect it. Is it like that? Or because you mentioned...
Is there a grey area? Depends, bro. Some people may come with a pure devotional intent only. They may not be pure yet, but they are practicing sincerely. But how pure is their practice of bhakti, we cannot always judge. We cannot always figure out. Somebody may be apparently practicing bhakti, what's there in their mind, only Krishna knows. And he knows how to reciprocate. Hey thama prapadyante. Let's not assume what's there in others' hearts. Right? Somebody may apparently look like he's a Sakama Bhakta pakka lag rahe. Who knows? He may be Uttama Bhakta also. Somebody may say, he seems to be pure devotee. Definitely, but we don't know how many Sakama tendencies are there. We can't exactly say. Right? So let's not label others, but let's try to evaluate ourselves. More than evaluation, let's accept the process and then implement it. Right? Sometimes our self-evaluation also may be wrong. But what is not wrong is the path. The path can never go wrong. The process is never wrong. Sravanam Kirtanam is always eternally effective. Let me take shelter of this Sravanam Kirtanam process. Sometimes we may do some self-evaluation and then come to wrong conclusions. I think, Prabhu, I have done a lot of analysis. I am in Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Right? But it may not be true also. Who knows? But what definitely works is just follow the path. Hari. Anyways, I'll come to Prabhu's question. So, when we are practicing bhakti, I think somewhat related to your question also now, what Gauranga Prabhu said. When we are practicing bhakti, say we may do some service, we may do some limb of sadhana, some devotional practice. There could be a material side to it and there is a spiritual side to it. That we should introspect time to time. As much as humanly possible, we should figure it out. Right? That's the topic, right? In every spiritual activity that we do, there is a material part. But it may not materially affect us if we have a spiritual intention. But if there is no purity in our intention, then the material aspect of it will affect us. Let me give some examples. Lord Brahma, in the beginning of creation, he was empowered by Lord Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Lord Brahma prayed, 3rd canto, 9th chapter, so many prayers he offers. And at the end, last 3 prayers, Brahma says, "Oh Lord, please empower me to carry out this creation. But if I am able to carry out this creation so nicely, then I may become proud. Oh Lord, please protect me from pride. Please protect me from false prestige." You remember the prayers? 3rd canto, 9th chapter, 22, 23, 24, 25. 22, 23, 24, 3 prayers. 25 is Sosavadabharagarano, Bhagavan Vivruddha. That is wake-up prayer. I think the junior batch will come to that soon. So Brahma offered these prayers and the Lord empowered him. And later, Brahma spoke to Narada Muni. Na bharati menga brushoapalakshyate na vaikvachinme manaso brushagati na me hrishikani patantya satpathe yanme hridautkantya dhrita vata dhrito harihi. Brahma says, whatever I say, whatever I do, whatever I think can never go wrong because I have accepted the lotus feet of Krishna within my heart with great zeal. Brahma said this. So confident. Not pride. His confidence is not on himself. His confidence was on Krishna. Right? However, that same Brahma, in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, 13th chapter, when the 4 Kumaras asked him a philosophical question, Brahma could not answer that question. Then who answered? Hamsavatar. Hamsavatar came there and answered that question. Why Brahma could not answer? Read the purports of Acharyas. They say that although Brahma said like this to Narada Muni, Nabharati menga murshopalakshate, whatever I say, whatever I do, whatever I think can never go wrong. He has personally heard Harikatha, Bhagavatam from Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Still, he was affected by his creative activities. Means his activities of creation, which involve a lot of dealings with matter. Right? When you're doing some service, that service involves some dealings with matter, right? You may be in the accounts department dealing with money, right? All money is for Krishna only. You're just doing that seva. But sometimes one may not be mature enough to deal with that, and one may get affected by it. Money. There may be some greed, or there may be some desire to control that money, or spend that money for Krishna's service only, but in the way I want, right? So, or in that desire to save money or control money or spend money in a certain way, we may end up offending devotees. There's a material side to it. Or you may be preaching Krishna consciousness. One may become proud of one's followers. Dhanam can distract us. Janam can also distract us. One may be preaching, or one may be coordinating deity worship. While doing the deity worship seva, they may have to interact with the opposite gender for some service only, right? But one may get affected by it. One may get distracted because of impurity of consciousness, right? So every service that we do in this material world, there is a dealing with matter. In fact, body itself is made of matter. Bhumi rapo nalo vayuh khammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakritirashtada. So there is earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. They are still material. And the soul is there entrapped in these 8 material elements. 3 subtle and 5 gross. Right? So as long as you are in the material body, there is every possibility of getting affected by matter, even though you are doing a spiritual activity. Right? When we come to the temple hall to take darshan of the deities, along with deity darshan, they may take darshan of other people also. And those darshans may affect the person. Right? If the consciousness is not proper. One may deal with money, one may deal with people, one may deal with followers, one may deal with the power, position, prestige, ability to control. So, ability to deal with these gadgets. Or privilege to take some decisions. One may be overly attached to one's own decisions, unable to accept someone else's proposals or decisions or thoughts, even if they are having some merit in it. Right? So all this because of material inclinations. Right? While doing a spiritual activity, we are still dealing with lot of matter. Therefore, there is no substitute to regularly hearing Harikatha, which is purely spiritual. Sometimes one may mix lot of material stuff also into spiritual discussions. Right? One may see a spiritual pastime from a material perspective also. One may add lot of material stuff into pure Harikatha narrations also. Of course. Sometimes to convey the point in a more digestible, understandable, relatable way, one may have to give some examples or analogies or anecdotes so that audience can understand. To that degree it is okay. The spiritual purpose is there, fine. All matter must be utilized in spiritual service. To that degree it is fine. But sometimes one may be carried away by the material aspect of it. Like, there is one devotee who is singing some kirtan. Harinam, pure. Harer namaiva kevalam. Right? So this devotee is singing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for the pleasure of the deities, supposed to be. And he's singing in certain melody. And that melody reminded another devotee of some Tollywood or Hollywood or Bollywood or Mollywood or Collywood song. And Mahamantra is gone. Only that song is coming into the mind. Oh, nice melody. So a nice music director. So thoughts went in that direction. Where is Harinam there? Getting right? So one may be overly dependent on the external appeal or the form in which Krishna consciousness is presented more than the content. One may be overly allured by the packaging more than the product inside. So it's a long discussion. I'm just giving a prelude, pointers. We'll dwell more deep into this. But as long as we're in the material world with a material body, even though we are trying to practice spiritual life and perform spiritual activities, dealings with matter are unavoidable. So let the dealings with matter not instigate material emotions, material thoughts and material desires in us. And we can ensure that only when we are in the association of devotees, and especially when we are discussing Harikatha in that association. When we are not constantly in touch with spiritual sound vibration, there is every possibility that we may get attracted by the dealings with matter. Right? It could be dealing with gadget also. You may be using these tools of social media or whatever only for the purpose of, pure purpose of preaching only. But one may become a little obsessed with the attention that one gets there. In our Vidyapit Bhakti Vaibhav degree awarding ceremony, His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj came and he made a beautiful point. He was speaking about our Zoom classes. When you are walking on this pathway, in a village pathway or some forest pathway, barefoot, your foot may be pierced by a thorn. And to take that thorn out, you don't have a needle. You know, what is that needle? Syringe. Injection needle you may not have. Or you may not have a safety pin also. You may not have a sharp object, sharp needle, which is stainless steel. What will you do? You take another thorn. There only, in the same forest, you take another thorn. Try to take this old thorn with this new thorn. Similarly, when we are trying to practice spirituality and spread spirituality in this material world, we may have to use material tools. When when entire youth is on social media, to preach to the youth, to preach to the modern crowd, you may have to enter the social media. When people are unable to come on site and hear a class like this, as all of you are doing now, they're able to come on YouTube live or Zoom live. Fine, we need to serve them by speaking Harikatha in that platform, right? So to that degree, we can use all material tools in a spiritual activity for a spiritual purpose with a spiritual intention. Brahmarpanam, Brahma Havir, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivatena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. I hope you know the purport of that shloka. I will not elaborate why I said it in this context. However, while you are using material tools, material means to perform a spiritual activity, we need to protect ourselves from material distractions. While you are plucking out a thorn using another thorn, if you are not careful, you will have two thorns in your foot. Right? Your intention is to take out the old thorn with the new thorn. But if you are not careful, you will have two thorns in the foot. Oh my God, greater infection, greater pain. Will you take a third thorn? Maybe, we don't know. Or go to a surgeon. Go to some doctor who may we may treat it in a different way. So we cannot avoid using material tools in our spiritual life, but we need to protect our spiritual inspiration and not get overly affected with the material distractions. Does it make sense? Prabhu, any thoughts? Although you gave me this topic, I'm sure you must have a deep realization or meditation or more insights into this topic. We'll discuss more. Any questions or comments? Prabhu, anything you want to add? Gauranga Prabhu or Gauranga Prabhu? Thank you very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.